Hello crafty friends, and welcome to the last in our Get Started with Distress Oxides series. We've looked at all the Distress Oxides I own that are on the colour wheel. Now we're going to look at the neutrals. So I've got Black Soot, Lost Shadow, Walnut Stain, Vintage Photo and Pumice Stone. Black Soot, as the name suggests, is a black, but it's more of a charcoal black than, say, a deep, pure black like VersaFine Onyx Black ink. Lost Shadow is a grey, a warm grey. Walnut Stain is a nice dark brown, very rich. Vintage Photo is a slightly yellower, orangier brown, a bit lighter. And Pumice Stone is a lovely warm grey again, but a browny grey. So I've blended them all onto a piece of white card. Black Soot, Walnut Stain, Vintage Photo, Pumice Stone and Lost Shadow. I've got here a piece of white card, and that's just to show you the difference that Lost Shadow makes. It's, as I say, a warm grey. And here's some smushed versions: Black Soot, Walnut Stain, Vintage Photo, Pumice Stone and Lost Shadow. Again, Lost Shadow is very pale. And obviously when you dilute inks with water to smush them, you're going to get lighter versions of the blended colours. So I thought I'd make a card for you on camera, and then I've got a lot of other samples using these inks to show you. So stick around to the end of the video for those. The first thing I'm going to do is run my smushy paper through my die cutting machine with this Cuttlebug embossing folder, and it's covered in cogs and clocks. I want the pattern to be raised up rather than indented, so I'm making sure to put my card in that way around. So I've got a very nice pattern there, it's come out well. I want to roll over it with some Vintage Photo using my brayer. And a really easy way to ink up a brayer is to put your Distress Oxide on a gel plate, and you get a lovely coat on there. And I'm going to run it over the top, hoping to catch the pattern. I'll put a little bit of Walnut Stain on there, the darker brown. Ink up my brayer and add that in a few places, so I've got a bit of variation. Now I've got some ink on here. I'll just take a couple of bits of mixed media paper and pick up that ink, and it'll be useful for something. I'll clean my brayer off as well on these. So now I've got a couple of pieces that I may use today. If not, they'll just go in my box of backgrounds and bits. Now for some shimmer and shine. I've got some DIY gilding gum here. I made this with indigo blue gilding gum and indigo blue Rapunzel luscious powder. Just got a little bit on my mat. I pick it up with my microfiber cloth and just wipe it all over really, and it will catch the embossing. It won't cover up all that inking, but it will just add a little shimmer. Don't mind if it goes on the background part. I'll just give that a little buff so there's no big blobs anywhere. And now we've got a shimmery, shiny, grungy background. I'm going to cut this down to panel size. I don't want to use a die because I don't want to squash my embossing. Before I stick this on the card, I'm going to give it a matte 1/8 of an inch, 3.2 millimeters wide in black. That'll really give it some pop. I'm not sure whether to put it black at the bottom or black at the top. I'm thinking black at the top. For my focal point, I've die cut some tickets out of white and out of black to go with the card base and the black mat, and I'm just going to offset the white ones on top of the black ones, so the black is a drop shadow. I'll chop the end off this one because I want to put it here flush against the edge of the panel, and this ticket I want to put on that intersection there. My sentiment reads congrats, because I'm going to give this to my son when he graduates from uni this summer. He's getting a master's in mechanical engineering, so I think the cogs work well for that. Because I'm his mum and I love him, I'm going to put some hearts on. And for extra shimmer and shine, bit of gloss, bit of dimension, I'm going to put Nouveau Crystal Glaze on top of the hearts. And there you have one coggy, distressed, grungy, but still restrained congrats card. Do stick around for a few more minutes because I've got lots of examples to show you using these neutral Distress Oxide inks. Right, I'm going to show you some cards first that are still wet in some way or another so that I can put them somewhere safe and not worry about accidentally putting things on top of them. So for this card, I took a piece of mixed media paper, painted on the brown inks that I diluted with water, and while it was still wet, I stamped a sewing pattern stamp into the wet ink using walnut stain, and then I dried it. And because it's a sewing pattern, I thought I would add some buttons. So I die cut some white buttons and some black buttons, using the black ones as a shadow again. I drew on some threads. I could have sewn them. I could even have used real buttons, but I didn't today. And because I wanted them to look a little bit glossy and dimensional, I flooded them with a Nouveau Crystal Glaze, which is still wet, which is why they look a bit weird. But I'll take photos once it's dry and hopefully it will look a bit better. I popped the thank you sentiment in the middle horizontally a third of the way down the card, and that's it. For this background, I coloured a piece of card with the brown inks. I then misted a wood grain embossing folder with water and ran it through my die cutting machine, and the water and the embossing left some interesting marks. I also added some extra ink on top to get a bit more of a variation. And then I added the white foliage with the black shadow, a sentiment that's in the middle more or less vertically, but it's snuggled into here. This sentiment is a Julie Hickey foilable, but I didn't foil it, I just matted it on some black to go with the black elsewhere. And then I added some black dots, which I covered with crystal glaze again. Now, I'm not sure about this card. I think the concept is okay, but there's not enough contrast between the letters and the words and this background. So I put some vintage photo and walnut stain through a stencil to get this pattern. I then cut it into a square, mounted it on white, stuck it on the card. I added a black happy, which I covered in crystal glaze, and a grungy gold birthday. Maybe a bit of vellum, a band of vellum would have helped them stand off. And then I put some black circles, which I covered in crystal glaze, just for an extra bit of interest. I think this card would work, but with a little tweak to help this stand off a bit better. And for this card, again, I coloured the background with the brown inks. I then stamped on it in vintage photo with a mathematical type equation stamp. I then spritzed it to make everything spread out a bit. And once it was dry, I used another stencil to add some fine grit texture paste. And then while it was drying, the white texture paste absorbed some of the ink. So we've got quite a nice texture there, but it's not too in your face, and it's the same tone as the background. I then added this big butterfly, and I've used these a lot on the other samples. These were left over from a previous video that I'll link below for you. But I thought they worked well. They're big, they're bold, they're glossy, and they go well with the grungy look. I added an especially for you up here, diagonally opposite, and then connected the two with some black Nouveau drops, which still need to dry. So I've got to put this somewhere safe. So we've got quite a big card here, significantly bigger than I usually make. And I used some brown card and stamped on it with the Distress Oxides. So I stamped the lines in black soot. There are some splats that I did in vintage photo, some coffee ring stamps that I did in walnut stain, and then I diluted a bit of lost shadow and splattered it on to give some pale splats. I then added 3 of my butterflies, a sentiment down here, and connected it all together with black Nouveau drops again. And I do like having the crisp white border and the strong black matte around all these cards. It kind of restrains the chaos of the grunge. They're not clean and simple, but they're fairly simple and satisfyingly contained. For this card, I took a linen textured stamp and I inked it up with vintage photo and walnut stain and stamped it in the middle of a stitched rectangle panel. I then heat embossed it with some white pearl embossing powder from Wow. So it's got a beautiful pearly shimmer to it, but you can still see the browns. They're muted down slightly, but they're definitely there. I added one of my butterflies a third of the way down in the middle. I added a Have a Wonderful Day sentiment here, and then put some Nouveau drops around for a bit of energy and movement. I made this card with some leftover bits of that stenciled paper. I cut them into 2 strips, mounted them on black, mounted that on white, added a wonky butterfly and a get well soon. Everything's contained, so this is, I think, a clean and simple card, and I've added some Nouveau drops for movement. Now for this card, I took the stencil that I used for the stenciling pattern, spritzed it with water and then stamped it down onto a piece of mixed media paper. So I've got a really beautiful grungy distressed brown pattern with lots of variation from the 2 ink colours. And I've also got these really nice empty regular shapes. Again, matted it on black, added a butterfly, Nouveau drops and a sentiment down here. Another really simple card. I took a piece of mixed media paper and a corner stamp. It looks a bit like paving, and I stamped it in pumice stone because I didn't want it to be too in your face. I then matted it on a bit of card that I covered with pumice stone. So you've got the 2 bits of pumice stone there. Popped it on black, added my black butterfly and my sentiment in the opposite corner, and for a bit of movement, some Nouveau drops again. I think this probably would count as clean and simple because you've got some nice white space there. This is another stenciling card, and I used a brickwork stencil and the residual ink on the brown brushes. I didn't ink it up, I didn't want it to be as bold as this. So I just gently went over it to add a little bit of colour. I cut my panel down so the brickwork is centred about a third of the way up. Added a butterfly, added some Nouveau drops for movement and a simple sentiment there. I think this one might be a contender for my favourite today because I really enjoyed using this grungy grid stamp. I stamped it in pumice stone here, vintage photo here and walnut stain here, and then I added a butterfly on each, getting bigger as I went up the card. This area was perfect for sentiment. This is another Julie Hickey foilable, and then connected everything together again with the black Nouveau drops and a black mat. Another favourite, I took some mixed media paper, cut it down into a stitched rectangle, blended on some of the brown inks, stamped on the mathematical stamp again in brown ink. But before I stamped it, I spritzed the stamp to make the inking a bit watery, so it looks a bit blurry. And then I added some ink around the edge with my brushes, matted it on black, 2 butterflies flying in kind of diagonally opposite directions, but both upwards. Nice little gap in the middle for an anniversary sentiment, and Nouveau drops again to connect it all together. That's the butterflies done and dusted. For this card, I took a piece of craft brown card, cut it down, stenciled using a mandala or doily stencil. I started with the black soot in the middle, added the walnut stain and then out to vintage photo. So this area is darker. And then popped on a coffee cup die cut because you can't use brown ink without at least doing 1 coffee cup card. And then I used gold foil to cut happy to match the gold foil on the cup. And then I just added the word day. It was birthday, so it was going to be a happy birthday card, but when I took it out of the die, I managed to rip it. So I thought I'll just cut it down and turn it into a happy day card. Here we have another one that I did with that wood grain embossing folder. So this time I ran a piece of plain white card through the embossing folder, and then I swiped my ink pads across it to ink it up. So that left all the divots nice and white to provide a bit of variation, and I thought it would make a really nice new home card. I didn't mat it on black. I thought I would just go for the browns and the white, and I added a new home here in white and a little house here in white, but for a bit of bling and luxury I added in some gold windows and a gold door from gold foiled cardstock. And the last card, I simply took a blob stamp and stamped in pumice stone, vintage photo and walnut stain. I then used Versamark Onyx black ink because I wanted a really deep black stamped image, and I stamped the same foliage stamp 3 times but in different orientation and added a with gratitude here. Clean and simple. Right, I've just counted and I think I've made 16 cards with those neutral ink colours. I hope you like them. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you've enjoyed this Get Started with Distress Oxide series. What should I do a Get Started video on next? Do let me know in the comments. Right, thanks for watching and I'll see you back here very soon. Bye for now.